with the advent of the GLP-1 weight loss thing shot.
Yes.
Now everybody that comes, every celebrity, whether they're a sports star or TV or this, that, and other, if they lost any kind of weight and is flaunting it, right?
Right.
They're being accused of taking a bump. You know, that's what I
Yep.
call it, taking a bump, because it's a shot form. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's pill forms and stuff, but most of them take the bump, right?
The shot.
And so now there's a few celebrities that have come out and said, "Have we taken the bump? They've done everything else and tried it." And Oprah and Serena and big names coming out saying, "Yeah, we take the bump." So now a couple basketball players have lost a lot of weight and they're being accused of taking a bump. And they're like, "No, motherfucker, I work out with a personal trainer and I, getting in shape for the season." All right. And so the question is, would you take the bump? Because I know I look at, I've got several family members who, for one reason or another, the diet exercise thing, or they can't get to that phase because they're so far gone one way or another, they take the bump, right? And
Mm-hmm.
at first, I know there's side effects to it.
Mm-hmm.
There's side effects to every medication and whatnot,
It
and
is.
depending on how your body reacts. So uh, a side effect to everything. And in their case, I I I agree with them rolling with science because in the mental state of where they are, they're not going to be able to lose that weight with a diet exercise type regime alone.
Right.
I don't think that should be your excuse not to diet and exercise, but in combination with that and rolling with the science, I was like, yeah, I could see why you're doing that. Plus, the modern diets don't lead you, because of all the shit that's in it, don't necessarily lead you to being having a natural healthy diet that would promote that, you know.
Right. Right.
So in there, I was looking at, I was like, yeah, if I was kind of in those kind of circumstances, I probably would take the bump too to kind of get me jump started and see. I'm curious to see if not only the people I know, but these celebrity types, if they have to come off of it, what their results will be in that, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm just like, interesting.
Very interesting. And it's like if they taking the shot, is that gonna be a lifelong journey? Or if once they stop taking the shot, is they gonna keep the weight off and like keep their diet and exercise going, or they just because I want to say there's people um I know that had I want to say years ago had the surgery and they looked it good and they were like, oh no, 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 I'm gonna do they had bypass surgery. I'm like, "Oh, okay." But once they came back looking good, oh okay, yeah, you look good, you look healthy. You know how you fall back into that routine of,
Mm-hmm.
oh, we got a potluck. Ah, boom, boom. Yeah, no. So then it's like, okay, now what are you gonna do? Go back and have this? Now, there was this one lady I know, she kept having the cert. I think I don't know to the point to where she had to leave the country because they wasn't gonna do it no more in the United States, so she would leave and go and get the surgery again because anytime she felt she was gaining weight, she would go. I'm like, and it that at that point, she wasn't looking good. She wasn't looking healthy at all. It's like it was taking a toll on her. But she refused to gain the weight back. And I'm like, I get it that you didn't want to gain the weight back, but if you're not going to change your eating habits and all of that, just keep repeating the surgery ain't going to make it. Just, that's expensive.
Well, I'm surprised at the um, multiple surgeries on one person. Um, I know several people that have had that surgery, and I've known maybe one and a possibly two that have kept it off because
It's
there
doable.
is well, and you can keep it off, but again, you have to change your approach to diet and exercise,
Hmm.
right? So getting the surgery without a change in diet and exercise for the long haul, right?
Right.
Uh, Without a complete overhaul, a lifestyle overhaul, right? You
Hmm.
just fall right back into the same trap,
Hmm.
right? And this is no way a thing of right or wrong. I'm not even casting that kind of thing because you got to do what you got to do for your health,
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly.
But without that component to it, you're just running you're the mouse on the circle there. You're just running the same circle there. You're gonna come right back around to the same old point,
Right.
of the weight
Right.
gain. And like I said, except for one, maybe the second person I know several people that have had it. I know one that has kept it off, but they
Hmm.
kind of ride a roller coaster a little bit. They
Hmm.
start to get a little heavy, then they start to check their diet up, and they start to get a
Hmm.
little, they kind of ride that roller coaster, but they never go over the edge.
Hmm.
Um, Everybody else I know that have gotten a surgery, they wind up at some point putting the weight back on,
Hmm.
right? And then there was one that's recently had it, so it was too early to judge where they're going to land in that type of thing. So
Right.
um,
So,
the
um,
multiples is wild.
yeah, yeah, she did it several times. But that's like you tell me, with my workout regimen, and that's what I guess some would need with their diet is discipline and consistency.
Well, that's the whole thing, especially getting older. You're not running marathons. I know some people that do compete in marathons and stuff like that, but you're not being that peak performance athlete to where you're competing like that as a regular thing that you do.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is consistency over this necessarily high volume workout, you
Hmm.
know, and staying consistent in however you get your consistency, but you're constantly moving, and stretching should be an integral part of your daily routine, you know.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
so that goes along with the building blocks is to me is consistency, whatever it is that you're doing,
Hmm.
flexibility and mobility.
Hmm.
That's your building blocks from there. And then from there, also in there is with your diet moderation, you know,
Correct.
and with those foundational building pieces leading to a healthier life, or a life that is comfortable, that put it this way, those foundational pieces in my eyes leads to um, a life that is um, leads to a life that has quality. So a quality life, that's my end goal, is a quality life, you know, where,
Right.
if you get sick, you can fight off. You ain't in the doctor's office every 5 minutes, but you go to make sure that everything is functioning well. You're
Yeah.
doing those things to support that, you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
So you can't go bungee jumping without having a heart attack and, worried about the the weight limit on the roller coaster and all that shit. And I'm not shaming anybody or knocking anybody, but
Right.
getting older requires you, if you want a good quality of life, getting older requires you to become a student of your own body and your
Right.
own health. And now the information is out here and the research is out here. So
Yes, it is. We going bungee jumping?
let's go.
All right. Okay. Okay.
I ain't like that.